Good morning, students. How are you all? So I hope all are fine. So today's class we are going to start our syllabus. Okay? Both groups students, I mean bio-botany students and botany students. Okay? Both you have 15 chapters. Bio-botany students, this 15 chapters, then additionally little bit of portions only have that botany students. Okay? More or less same portion only, little bit of portions only additionally having that science students, botany students. Clear, children? Yes. So today's class we are going to start first chapter, Living World. Okay, what's the chapter name? Living World. So first, if we are looking in the world means they have many things, isn't it? Yes, good. So they have that. Say some examples of this. What is the things or presence in the air? Yes, good. Plants, animals, mountains, glaciers, isn't it? So these all the supporting life forms and also living organisms. Everything is present inside the world. Clear, children? What do you mean by biosphere? So the biosphere means, so here the life on the earth, they existing within a complex structure we are called as, the name is known as biosphere. Clear? This biosphere, the living earth, they have wonderful or many mysteries or have. Understood? For first one, if we are looking, this is the world means, so not be expressing in that character, but some activities are going on. Suppose if we are looking at one of the plant means, wherever the sunlight is there, that facing to that particular plant. For example, that's a sunflower that is facing towards the sunlight. Clear? Then if we are looking, that's a pond means there are lotus, so many varieties of the plant species are there. So there is the leaf, that's one of the wondering, that's one of the amazing facts. So there is the leaf, the water droplets are roaming above, this is the leaf part, isn't it? Then firefly, so that one is roaming around, that is the dark forest. So these are the some wonderful activities. Okay? Yes. Have you any idea about this DNA molecule, children? Do you have any idea regarding that DNA molecule? Yes, good. Every living organism, they have that DNA content or DNA molecule. Clear? So this is the DNA means, that is the very essential, the cell, so that is the regulations of this life. Essential part of this and regulations of this life of this living organisms. Clear? What are the components they presents that a DNA molecule means? So their presence in a carbon, hydrogen, phosphorus, nitrogen, everything is present in that DNA content. Clear, children? That's one of the very important and essential for that regulations of this living organisms. Clear? Yes. First one, the all over, this is the, that's the earth, that one person, they estimated that a species on the earth. How much species are present in that the earth? They estimated that one person name is known as Mora et al. That's one word question. Suppose they will ask this, so you can write this answer. That's a person name and a Mora et al. Okay, that team members, they discovered the species estimation in the year of 2011. Clear? How many species on the earth they presence in the year? They estimated that the number is 8.7 million. How much? 8.7 million. Understood, ma? So these are the some one word is here. Clear? Next one, we are moving to learn about this is the what are the living organism? What are the essential characters or what are the attributes or presence in the living organisms? Okay. The next one, let us learn that's one by one. What are the attributes of living organism? Attributes means that's characteristic features. Okay. The first one, they are giving in many characteristic features or many attributes. We will learn one by one. First one is growth of this attribute of this living organism. Then cellular structures and reproduction, response to stimuli, homeostasis, metabolism. Then apart from that, secretion and excretion, and also there that's respiration, and also so their presence in some of this reproductive characters. All these things are they consider as an attributes of living organisms. Okay. The next one, we are moving next one by one the attributes of living organisms. First one, the growth of this attributes of this living organism. Growth means you know that each and every living organism they have growth, isn't it? Suppose if you are looking at living organism means that's a growth is a instinctive properties. Okay, if we are looking that's a living organism, that's a growth is they represented as an instinctive. I mean, so instinctive means internal the growth. Clear? Internals means if you are taking in that zone of the plant means so they takes place in a cell divisions. Clear? That cell division means how we are identifying. So the additions of protoplasm, isn't it? Internal, that's a growth. The instinctive growth of this property of this living organism. So that is mentioning in that is a mass wise and number wise. Clear, children? Mass wise and number wise. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Then this instinctive growth only they presence in a living things. Understood, ma'am? Yes. Next one, extensive growth means, so that is the external growth. Sometimes if you are looking in a mountains, glaciers and boulders, sand mounds, so these are the things also growing. This is non-living object, but that also growing. The deposition or that aggregation of this some material on this surface area, that also growing. Understood, ma'am? That type of the growth is we are called as the name is known as extensive growth. Okay? Non-living object, that growth is defined as an which type, children? Extensive growth. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes, very good. Then if we are looking that's a plant means so they have that's a indefinite growth. Okay, indefinite means throughout their life the plants or they have that's the processes, the regular characteristic features of growth. Clear? Suppose if you are looking in that say any one of this animal or human beings means that attaining one of this maturity the growth will be stopped. Clear, children? So that is a growth, the plant side, that is the indefinite type of this growth, but this animal and human beings, whatever it is, so here that's a growth is they comes under in a definite growth. Understood, ma'am? Say yes or no? Yes. So the growth means, so here you have to be remembering in a 4 points, children. First one, intrinsic growth and extrinsic growth, where this type of the growth is secure, and the next one is the indefinite and definite type of growth. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes, good. The next one of these characteristic features of this cellular structures. The next attributes of living organism, this is the cellular structure. So all living organism that's made up of cell, isn't it, children? Yes. So this cell, they comes to two types. One is prokaryotic cell and another one is eukaryotic cell. How we are identifying or differentiating the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, children? Do you have any idea regarding this? How we are differentiating prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell? Yes, very good. Prokaryotic cells means, so they not have that definite nucleus. Okay, but DNA material is there, but not definite nucleus. Okay, that's no membrane bound organelles, the cell organelles like a mitochondria and Golgi complex, and then also endoplasmic reticulum. So these type of this, the cell membrane bound organelles are absent. Clear? Then if we are looking, this is the eukaryotic cell means, so they have that's a definite nucleus. Okay. Then also there is a membrane bound organelles or the presence in a eukaryotic organism. This is a major one of the differences between this prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms. Clear? Understood, ma'am? Then mostly prokaryotic organism means, so there comes under in a unicellular organism. Can you able to say that's one of the examples of this eukaryotic or unicellular organism? Prokaryotic unicellular organism. Very good. Bacteria. Yes, good. Very good. Tell me. Amoeba. So this is the example, blue-green algae, bacteria. So these are the things they comes under in a prokaryotic organisms. Clear? Then suppose if you are looking in a eukaryotic organism means, so their presence in a two type of organism. One is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular means what, children? What's mean by unicellular? Very good. The single cell is present, that organism is called unicellular. Multicells means many celled organism. Clear? Yes, good. This unicellular, that's good example is amoeba. Clear? That's a multicellular organism means we are plant side, we are telling in that's more organisms, Pyrogera, Eudogonium. So these all the organisms are whatever that species presents many cell, that's we are called as a eukaryotic organism. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Can you able to say that's one of this prokaryotic organism example? Very good. Bacteria and blue-green algae. Clear? Then eukaryotic organism, there comes under in it two types, unicellular and multicellular. There you have to be called, that's the one on examples for that too. First one is eukaryotes, unicellular, amoeba, multicellular organism, Eudogonium. That's one good examples for that. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Next one, the attributes of living organism, reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? Producing, that's a young ones, isn't it? That's the own perpetuating the own species is known as reproduction. Very good. This is the one of the very important and essential characteristic features of living organisms. Isn't it, children? Yes. This reproductions also they comes under in two types, children. One is asexual reproduction and the second one is sexual reproduction. Clear? The asexual means whatever it is the mother or parent is there, the same one is producing, that is known as asexual reproduction. Clear? Then sexual means, so the involving of this gamete, the fusion of this gametes, they producing that's a new one. Clear? So the through recombination, so that is they producing in another one species. Clear? That's known as sexual reproduction. Clear, children? If you are looking in asexual reproduction methods means, so they comes under in so many the different methods of asexual reproduction, children. So there is a production of conidia, budding, binary fission, fragmentation and regeneration. Okay. First one, productions of conidia. Productions of conidia means, so that is the one of the reproductive organs of this. That's a conidial formations. Okay, mostly they present in that is the fungal organism. For examples of Penicillium. Okay, so this is the species of Penicillium and Aspergillus. So these are the species only. They present that. What is that? The productions of conidium. Clear? Next one, budding. Budding means, so the mother one is there, or that's a parental one is there, just one extra projections like appearance. So this is the mother means. So here they present in one of the extra outgrowth like structures from. So this is the mother plant. So they detach that is detached or separated from that is the another one. They producing that's the young one. Clear, children? This is the budding method of this asexual reproduction. Understood? Say yes or no? That's a good examples of the species of the budding is the yeast and hydrilla. Clear, children? So this is the yeast and hydrilla species. Understood, pa? Yes. The next one of this type is the binary fission. Binary fission mostly, so they takes place in there is one of the very good examples of this bacterial cell and amoeba. First one is, so that's the nuclear region is dividing. After that is the, they along with the cell they dividing into two. Okay, so that is we are called as the name is known as binary fissions. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes. The next one, fragmentation. Fragmentation means that's a body parts or they split into fragments wise. Okay, that's we are called as the name is known as fragmentation. That's one of the good examples of this plant, Spirogyra. Clear? Next one, regeneration. The regeneration of this asexual method, wherever if we are looking that's any one of this organism, wherever that is cut is made, from that each cutted area they can erasing, they can producing in a new one. Understood, children? That is the type of this asexual method is known as regeneration. If you are looking, this is the one of this diagram. So the picture, this is planaria species. Okay. The body part wherever the terminal or that is the intercalary or that is the end of this region, the cutted means each part they created, they produces in a young one, new one. Understood, children? So this is the type of this method of this asexual reproduction is the regeneration. Understood, ma? So these are the certain methods of regeneration they present in the asexual methods. Clear? Yes. The next one of these attributes of living organism. So that is the response to stimuli. The response to stimuli means, if you are looking, this is the world, mostly that's a living organism. They get that any type of the stimuli, that stimuli base. Either the stimuli means, so that is they comes under in a biological stimuli or that is the physical stimuli or any of the chemical stimuli. Okay, so based on that, so they have with the surroundings, if any stimulus is affected means immediately they have respond. Clear? So here we are going to learn about this is the two terms, children. One is consciousness and another one is what do you mean by irritability. Okay, so all of you listen carefully. First one, consciousness means, so the animals they sense their surroundings. Okay, they sense their surrounding by a sense organ. Okay, this type of response is called, if that animal is there means, so if any stimulus They sensing their surroundings by a sense organ is there. Okay. This type of responses we are called as, the name is known as, what is that? Consciousness. Okay. What do you mean by consciousness? Next one, the plants also they giving in a certain type of the stimulus. Okay. They certain type of the responses based on that stimulus. Understood, ma'am? If suppose, if that you know that touch me not plant, isn't it? If we giving that one of the stimulus, touching means immediately that is closing of the leaves. Understood, children? That is the one of the response. And also the sunflowers, so they are giving wherever that is the sunlight is coming, that face only the sunflower is facing, isn't it? That is, so this type of the response, the plants they giving in a some certain stimulus base, they giving in this response, no? This is known as irritability. The plants they giving based on their stimulus, they giving that response, that's known as irritability. Are you clear, children? What do you mean by consciousness and what do you mean by irritability? Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes, very good. The next one we are going to learn about, this is the next one of this characteristic, which is homostatosis. What do you mean by homostatosis means? If any one of this organism, internally they have some certain characters, isn't it? That characters set to that external environment. If suppose high temperature is having in that internal means, then whatever that is the external, the temperature is there means, that means, so this one is adjusting that. Okay, so internal, this is the temperature or whatever it is, this is the internal, so that one is set for that is the external environment. Clear? This is the homostatosis. What is the definition of this homostatosis means? The tendency of this homostatosis, the properties for that regulations, okay, the properties, so they having in a good quality or good characteristic features of this, the regulation of this, tendency of this, maintenance of this, maintaining the steady state phase, the steady state to the external environment. So this is the change, this is called as, the term is known as homostatosis. Clear? Whatever it is internal is there, that one is set to that is the external environment, that changes. So that process is called as, the name is known as homostatosis. Clear, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Next one of these attributes of living organisms, so that is the metabolism. Metabolism means, we know that metabolism means whatever the chemical reactions, okay, whatever the chemical reactions, the total numbers takes place inside the cell is known as metabolism. Okay, what do you mean by metabolism means? So total number of the chemical reactions they takes place inside the cell is known as, what is that? Metabolism. This is one of the 2 more questions, children. So all of you learn thoroughly. Okay. Then this metabolic processes, they divide into, they categorized into 2, children. One is anabolism and another one is catabolism. Clear? What are the 2? Anabolism and catabolism. Clear, ma? Yes. Anabolism means the building up process. Okay, so synthesis process, building up process. Catabolism means the breakdown of this process. That's a major differences, these 2. First one, anabolism, so that is the building up process, and the catabolism means that is the breakdown process. Understood, Tom? Then here, this is the anabolic molecules means. So here, what is the differences between these 2 means? First one, anabolism means the smaller molecules are, they combined to form, okay, the smaller molecules are combined to form, that's a larger molecules. Clear? Then, so the next one, catabolism means the larger molecules are break down into smaller parts, or that's the simple molecules. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Then catabolism, here the chemical energies are storing process. Okay, so here there is already I said, so there is the anabolism means building up process. So here the chemical energies are storing process. Okay, then catabolism means the storing of this chemical energies utilized and used to process. Understood, children? For example, that's like a anabolism process means the small the units of this amino acids, their production, their synthesis of protein molecules. That's one good examples for anabolic process. Clear? Then catabolism means suppose so they presence in one glucose molecule, one of this complex molecule, one of this the larger molecule as glucose is there means, so that one is they converted into carbon dioxide and water molecules. Okay, so they can utilized or using process. Clear, children? So this is that's if you need means you have to be code. This is the two examples of this process of catabolism and anabolic process. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes, very good. Then last, finally we are going to learn about, that's one of the 2 more question, children. What do you mean by cytoplasmic streaming or cyclosis? Okay, cytoplasmic streaming or cyclosis. The movement of this cytoplasm in a cell is known as cytoplasmic streaming, or so there is another one name is known as cyclosis. Okay, so the next one of this 2 mark question. What do you mean by cytoplasmic streaming and cyclosis? The movement of this cytoplasm inside the cell is known as cytoplasmic streaming or cytoplasmic movement, or that's the cyclosis. Clear, children? So these are the one little bit of topic only we are going to learn today. The first one, you should just prepare 2 mark and 3 mark based, children. The first one is, what do you mean by biosphere? The next one, list out that is the attributes of living organism. So there they are given in some subtopics. So based on that, the growth, that's the characteristic features, or that is the attributes of living organism. There you have to be prepared. The 2 type of this growth, one is intrinsic growth and another one is extrinsic growth. Clear? Next one, the second one of these characteristic features, cellular structures. There you have to be prepared. What do you mean by prokaryotic organism and what do you mean by eukaryotic organisms? The next one, reproduction. Reproduction, what do you mean by reproduction? What are the 2 major types of reproduction? Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The living organisms, some certain methods of asexual reproduction, already I said. So this is that board also have production of conidia, the budding method, binary fission, fragmentation and regeneration. Each one of this asexual method of reproduction, you got that some examples. Understood, children? This is also one of the 3 mark question answer. Next one, response to stimuli. It's very important to 2 mark question, children. One is consciousness and the next one is irritability. Okay, this is the 2 mark questions prepared in this part. The next one of the 3 mark question. What do you mean by homostatosis? Clear, children? Next one, what is metabolism? That's a 2 mark question. What is the difference between metabolism and, what is the difference between catabolism and anabolic process? Understood, children? So there's some points are there. The point wise you have to be prepared. The last one of this 2-mark question, what do you mean by cyclosis or cytoplasmic streaming? So all this answers, it's your e-textbook. There the page number 1, 2. Okay, the page number 1, 2, 3. So that 3 pages only they have. This is the bit of this answers. Understood, children? Say yes or no? Yes. Good. Thank you, students. Thank you very much.